house is a fucking prison on planet bullshit. In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks.
That, my friends, is the vibe in my house as we approach school starting. Hope you're having a great day. Hopefully your house is chill and calm, but man, the light is at the end of the tunnel. We'll get into that another time. Brought it up yesterday a little bit, but we got a lot to get into today. Cannot freaking wait. Hilarious stories that we're going to get into. Real quick, hit that subscribe button if you could, please. Also, don't forget today's show is presented to you by High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge. And of course, Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. And right now, you can receive a 50% free bet of up to $250 off your first deposit to bet on anything from the Olympics to baseball to Formula One racing. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. And when the game's over, head on over to their online casino and get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Go to betonline.ag right now to get in on the action. Don't forget to use promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. And before we start into the headlines, I got to bring another like little random thing that's going on in my world. It's funny because I normally just do shit on my own. I do everything on this show, whether it's 99% of the sales. I do production, I do hosting, I do producing, all that stuff for my show, right? But I also was telling you the other day that I do video work for Mile High Sports, and everything's been going great. And I get an email today from the boss over there, and he's like, "Hey, why is the audio off? Like not lining up with the words that are coming out of my mouth." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I fucked it up." And the thing that's annoying is they posted it on Instagram on their page, and it's getting all these views. It's a great take. It's funny, whatever. It's about Brandon Ayuk and why that would be a bad idea for him to go to the Denver Broncos, blah, 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 right? It pisses me off because I was wearing earbuds when I grabbed the video, and apparently that created a slight quarter-second delay between the audio and the video as it recorded onto my phone. Blah, 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 yakety schmackety. I fucked it up. I'm so pissed off. And it didn't match up. It matched up when I wore my earbuds because they're apparently a quarter second off. Oh, so pissed. So pissed. I'm just sitting there going, this is going to bug the snot out of me for like a week. All the other videos I didn't do that way. And they all are fine. Just this one. And it's all fucked up. And then it's like you can't replace the video once it's posted. You got to take it down and then repost it with a new one. So that just like totally wipes out all the views that it got. Oh, so I'm so mad. So mad. Good times. Good times. You know what I won't do again? I won't make that mistake again. Oh, I'm so pissed at myself. But you know what's going to make me feel good and warm and toasty in my tummy? It's jumping into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
I got worms.
Oh, okay. Adam Peaty, a British swimmer, was talking to a newspaper and just unleashed on the Olympic food situation. We talked about the Olympic food situation. There's been mixed reviews, okay? There's people saying that it's fantastic, mostly the people that work at the food and, all the chefs and shit. They're like, it is fine, it is great. We are French and we are making a lot of food. And all the athletes, not all of them, but a good chunk are going, it's not that great, not that great. Well, this guy is just, unloading to this British newspaper. And this is This is where sometimes it's best not to say anything, because he says that he heard from a guy. He didn't see it himself, but he heard from a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy. It wasn't that many, guys down the line, but you see what I'm saying? He didn't see it firsthand, but he claims that somebody else had food that was like, say, a fish, and the fish had worms in it. You can't say that if you never saw it. And the French catering company, Sodexo Live, that's the name of the company, told TMZ there has been zero proof. Wait, I should do this in a French accent. There has been zero proof of the truthfulness of this statement, which obviously raises a rather serious allegation. There is no information that's been able to be provided validity to this sensational claim. Yeah. Honestly, in this day and age, if there's no video, if there's no picture, good luck. Good luck getting anybody to believe you. It basically didn't happen. So to come out there and be like, I heard from a guy that he ordered fish and it had worms in it. I'm sorry. If I don't care what I'm going through, what I'm dealing with. If I order fish and there's fucking worms coming out of it, I'm going to tell somebody. Okay? Right? Because that's a problem. That's a big health problem. Listen, the Olympics are already having issues when it comes to health. What is it? The Saline River? I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm saying it off the top of my head. I can't remember what it's called. I'm visually seeing how it's spelled, and I don't have a good memory. So anyway, that river where they were, possibly going to postpone the triathlon, but they're like, yeah, it's good. It's good. The levels are fine. Well, there's all these athletes now that are coming up sick. One person has some sort of E. coli. I don't know if that's infection or whatever, but they've contracted that, and they don't know if it came from that or if it was from something else. Maybe it's from the fucking food. Who knows? What a train wreck the Olympics is starting to become. If more athletes become sick from the swimming situation, that's a joke. And here's what's funny, because I was reading up more on that river. It's just been a cesspool of just nastiness, whether it's, human waste or animal waste. And every time it rains, all that animal waste gets just, basically pushed back into the water, and God knows what else. And it's just disgusting. And like, nobody had swam in it in, I want to say, over 100 years. And then they spent like $1 billion, whatever the fuck it was, on cleaning it up. And then right before the triathlon, they're like, oh, God, I don't know. The levels are kind of high. Let's see what happens tomorrow. And then they're like, yeah, it's good enough. Good enough. And then, like, as the days go on past the event, there's people coming up being ill. There was one swimmer but she didn't elaborate what she saw, but she's all, I saw things in that water that I shouldn't be seeing. I'm wondering if we go back to it, that she probably saw a fucking turd. Something like that. It was probably nasty as fuck. But what are you going to do if you're mid-swim and then you see, like, whether it's a turd or used toilet paper or God knows what else? I'm curious of what she saw. But, like, what are you going to do? You're mid-race. You're just going to go ahead and finish it. You've come all this way. You're already in the water. You might as well just push the turd aside and go. How many times have I said that? Just push the turd aside and go forward, folks. Anyway, what would you do if you saw a fish, going back to that story, if you saw a fish with worms in it? I'm guessing he didn't elaborate. Were they alive? If they're alive, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to tell somebody. I'm not going to eat it. God, I'm not that hungry. Be like, you know what? I'll go with the burger. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to pass on this one. Holy crap. My God.
What the fuck?
So disgusting. So disgusting. But again, if there's no picture, everybody has a fucking cell phone. Everybody does. You tell me that you're not going to take a picture of that? No, you're going to take a picture of that. I call bullshit on that guy. Listen. As much as you want to jump onto the bandwagon of chaos, I guess you could say with this situation, everybody's bagging on it over there. Not everybody, but a good chunk. You know what? If you would take a picture in that situation, don't be making shit up. I feel like that guy's just making shit up. I heard from a guy that he saw worms in the fish. Fuck off. Hey, continuing on with the Olympics, we touched on this story, I think on Monday, that French pole vaulter that hit the rod. He hit the rod. What is it called that goes across? That thing. Anyway, he hit it with his dick and his balls, and it basically made him lose out on continuing on in the Olympics and potentially medaling. Right? So this guy's name is Anthony Ammirati. Nailed it. He got offered $250,000 from a porn site to star in, obviously, an adult film. I mean, this is what they say on TMZ. It says his manhood might have blocked him from the Olympic glory, but it could now help him land a girthy payday. Here's what I'm like. Listen, I looked at the video. This would be hilarious to me. They're offering him $250,000 to be in this porn. What if the dude is all beans and no Frank?
Frank and beans! Frank and beans!
Frank and beans! How'd you get the beans over the Frank? Could you imagine? He's like, wow, I thought you guys were into big balls. Listen, I tell you what, there's a good chance this fella's just all balls and no Frank. Thanks, cowboy. Hey, you bet. Anytime I can contribute. That would be so funny. But it does remind me of that time. I told you guys that a few times before when I almost was in a porn when I was going to broadcasting school doing a fake story on the sex shop industry. And then the lady looks me up and down and she's like, for what did I say it was? It was like $300. It was hardly anything. She's like, you could star in your own solo film. And I'm like, okay, keep talking. And then she's like, it's a 3 to 5 hour shoot. And I'm like, okay. That didn't really sink in till later, by the way, the 3 to 5 hour shoot. And then she's like, hey, don't worry, we'd supply you with the Viagra, blah, blah, blah. And then I go home and I start thinking about it. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do to myself for 3 to 5 hours? It's disgusting. Then your mind just keeps going and you're like, no. You wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat and be like, no, it doesn't go there. No, that's my naughty place. No. So it'll be interesting. Listen, to be honest, if you're an Olympian, you're probably not making that much money. Why not? If you're single and somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you got a good looking package, as far as I can tell, without taking off your clothes, I'm going to offer you $250,000. How embarrassing for this guy, though, going back to my original joke of what if he's all beans and no Frank? How embarrassing would it be if they take him in for a test shoot, he pulls down his drawers and they're like, oh, this is weird. This is not what we expected. It was not. That would suck because it would get out. They'd be like, he's all beans and no Frank. Oh, boy. How embarrassing. Speaking of kind of embarrassing, I saw this on Instagram last night. The Arizona Cardinals, the football team, if you don't pay attention to NFL, they are selling this year at all their home games a cotton candy burrito. And it's like a Chipotle sized burrito. And it's cotton candy on the outside, some sort of goo on the inside. And they got more cotton candy. They got other varieties of candy, what looks like M&Ms. It looks like not fruit roll-ups, but Fruit Loops, stuff like that, and Nerds and whatnot. That's disgusting. And the first thing that popped in my head was this.
Type 2 adult onset diabetes?
Yeah, that's just diabetes. You can just order diabetes at the Arizona Cardinal games. That's fun. Yeah, that's great. Type 2 onset diabetes? Yep. That's from eating bad food. Poor food decisions. Thanks, Arizona Cardinals. What in the hell?
What the fuck?
No kidding. Jesus, that's disgusting. I let's see, where did I post that? I'm going to end up, I posted it on my Facebook page. That's where I put it. So facebook.com/DeHuff podcast, or just search DeHuff Uncensored or DeHuff podcast. One of those. So, yeah, you'll find it eventually. That's disgusting, man. Why? What? That's like you get a quarter through that thing and you're going to feel ultimate shame, right? You if you ate the whole thing, no, you're going to be in just a spiral of depression. That's just so bad for you. So freaking bad. Ugh. It looks intriguing. But it would be one of those things where I guess like maybe well, I will say this though. Marijuana is legal in Arizona, so maybe that's what they're catering to. All the potheads are like, dude, let's go get a cotton candy burrito, man, and watch some football. Okay, bro. So gross. Go look at it and tell me what if you would eat that, because I'd have to be really fucking high to partake in that, and I don't think I could be that. I don't think I could. It's just too much. So disgusting. You would definitely get it.
Type 2 adult onset diabetes?
Absolutely. You'd be better off to order some of this.
Frank and beans! Frank and beans!
Frank and beans!
I got worms.
Oh, I don't want to eat worms. I wouldn't eat worms either. I would rather eat worms than a cotton candy burrito, okay? That's where I'm at with that. That's disgusting. But here's the thing. There's got to be some data behind it that says, hey, this is a great idea. Let's do this. Right? I hope those aren't pre-made. I hope those are, you make them at per order, right? So that way they don't have a bunch of just nastiness just waiting, because that's going to get hard and disgusting. Unless they make a certain amount per day and then they sell them till they're sold out and they don't make new ones. But I would suggest making like 5. Then, there's probably at least 5 stoners that show up that are dumb enough to eat that. So freaking gross. So how'd you get diabetes? Well, I went to the Arizona Cardinals game. Oh, you got the cotton candy burrito. Good for you. Well, not really, though. Not really. Anyway, speaking of getting the munchies, High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge is the only licensed canna bar in the state of Colorado. It works like an alcohol bar, but it's for cannabis. So you got to swing by, consume on site, purchase on site. Oh, that's fantastic. And what's cool is you can purchase up to an ounce of flour or 8 grams of concentrate. And they also have pre-rolls and edibles. They provide everything you need to consume it with. They got 7 big screen TVs so you can catch all your favorite sporting events, or maybe you even want to host a watch party. They also got Nintendo Switches available to rent. They got tons of free board games, great places to just go hang out and just chill. And they even got a quarter arcade with pinball machines, vintage Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and more. High Society is just a great place to go lounge. They're open daily from noon to 10. Happy hour runs from noon to 4:20, Monday through Friday. High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge is just 9 minutes from Coors Field. Like I said, it's open from noon to 10, so you can make your way over there. You got to be at least 21 or older to consume. No outside product. You got to buy it there. High Society's at 7667 Washington Street. Just GPS to High Society. I saw this and I'm like, I, I don't like to make fun of it, but come on, you can't help it. This is the headline from the New York Post. From breaking bread to breaking bad, Catholic priest confesses to cooking crystal meth in rectory. So, a Catholic priest in Austria was busted for operating a meth lab in his parish rectory, and as they say, in a scene reminiscent of the hit TV series Breaking Bad. Police raided the rectory under orders of the local public prosecutor's office, seizing chemicals for making the street drug as well as laboratory equipment. Come on, man. The Catholic Church already has a lot of issues. You know, how they diddle little boys and stuff, and now you're throwing in meth labs. It's just not helping the cause. Whether you're Catholic or not, you can sit there and go, gosh, geez, guys, not a good look. Not a good look. Even the Satanists are going, ooh, really, guys? You guys got to get your shit straight. Come on. I mean, you kind of do, but then you get this blindsided by, meth and stuff. What the hell? That's horrible. Horrible. You know what, though? I'll say the banging, kids is worse, though. Yes. The Catholic Church has a lot of issues. That being said, let's not all throw stones at the Catholic Church, because just about every religion has the few bad apples that get the bad publicity. That's what happens. You can't judge the whole religion on one or two, or in their case, like 100 bad apples. Okay, you can't really do that. But geez, it just doesn't. The optics are so bad, and for up and coming people that are deciding what do they want to continue in religion, or maybe they want to pursue religion for the first time. This isn't helping the cause to get people behind what you believe. Is having some dipshit like this, cooking meth. I mean, come on. By the way, did you know in Dumb and Dumber 2, the guy that is making the meth in their house, in Lloyd and Harry's house, that's Bill Murray. I swear I read that on IMDb or something like that. That's hilarious. Hilarious. By the way, I love that movie. Dumb and Dumber 2. Yes, it's stupid. Okay, what do you expect? The movie's called Dumb and Dumber 2, and they spelled the 2 wrong. What do you expect? Oh, man, the plot line and some of the jokes are just over the line and just gruesome. What do you expect? Come on, people. When you go see a comedy like that, you got to assume that you're throwing your brain out the window. It's kind of the same thing when you listen to this program. What are you expecting? Some heavy insight in how you're going to accomplish goals? What do you think? I'm like, what was that, Tony Robbins? I'm going to sit there and be like, guys, this is what you got to do. Wait, that sounds more like Dr. Phil. Guys, this is what's going to need to happen. You need to pull your head out of your back butt, okay? Not your front butt, but your back butt. And then you need to set your goals and stop being a douchebag, okay? No, I'm not going to sit there and do that nonsense. No. When you listen to this, you can turn off your brain a little bit and just be dumb. Be dumb for once. Listen, I'm taking that weight off your shoulder. Okay? Oh, actually, you know what? Shoulders, both. Okay, I don't want you to be all lopsided with that. I'm taking the weight off your shoulders, and that way you can just relax and just, doesn't matter. You're not trying to impress anybody. You're not trying to accomplish anything. The only thing actually you're trying to accomplish is just venting and just melting away and absorbing nonsense. And the same thing goes when you go see a comedy on the big screen or at home. You shut your brain off and accept stupidity for what it is. It's your form of entertainment. What do you expect when you watch the Terminator movie? A good plot line? No. You want to see robots and shit blowing stuff up. Duh. And speaking of that, I told you, I gave you my half-ass review of Deadpool and Wolverine and how much I love that movie, and it's a great movie. Can't wait to see it again. They have been breaking records nonstop. In fact, another record that I just saw was the F word. I don't know if you know what the F word is, but it's fuck, okay? Fuck has been used 117 times in the MCU so far. Once in Guardians of the Galaxy, 116 times in Deadpool and Wolverine. That's not why I like the movie. Here's what's funny about that. I don't feel like they overused it either. When you watch Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't feel like I didn't walk out of there going, it was good, but boy, they sure used the F word a lot. Huh? No, I didn't even realize that they were using it that much. So I think they dispersed it quite nicely. Kudos to you guys that were the writers on Deadpool and Wolverine, because I didn't feel like you overused fuck, but apparently you said it 116 times. It's fascinating. Fascinating. Speaking of fascinating, let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
Well, this comes in from JR Slick. He said, hey, why didn't any of those women boxers punch that Algerian in the nuts and do their own gender test? First of all, JR, you're just trying to poke the bear. We already found out, the IBA came out, because we talked about this the other day in great length. The IBA came out after I did my show and basically just continued to pile on that they're just, they're Russians fucking with shit. Hey, if you're a fighter, and you beat our Russian fighters, we're gonna pretty much fuck with your shit. So you get disqualified and our fighters get that loss, removed from their record. Anyway, I think the majority of us are thinking or are on the understanding because like the other day, like I said, when I went through all the information in regards to those fighters that have the alleged XY chromosomes versus the ladies, when it was just one of this total, listen, if you don't believe in conspiracies, that's fine for the majority of the time. I get it. But when you look at the information that I laid out there the other day, while I am a bumbling moron, you can sit there and take all that information and go, oh, shit, yeah, we fucked up. We judged a book by its cover, and we also took a shady scumbag organization that is the IBA. We took what their bullshit announcement was and took it for, law, and then come to find out it's just they're piles of shit, trying to sweep things up. But anyway, we should all be embarrassed if we said anything negative towards that Algerian boxer, because until other information comes out, it's just the Russian conspiracy bullshit. That's what that is. And I don't believe a goddamn word of it until somebody else comes out with a DNA test saying otherwise. Then whatever. But anybody that came out and said anything negative towards that lady boxer, there's actually two of them now that said, oh, it's a man beating up a woman, when in fact, everything being laid out is it's two ladies in the boxing ring. Okay. And it's just how nonsense can spread like wildfire. But that being said, we don't need to go down that road again. We don't. But going back to JR's mailbag submission, why didn't any of the women boxers, punch her in the nuts? Could you imagine if that would have happened? She's a woman. But if somebody just goes and just I'm going to do my own DNA test and I'm going to punch her right in the balls. And then she does it. And then the Algerian lady is going to be like, you fucking punched me in the pussy. God damn it. Who does that? Oh, shit. I feel bad now. Well, somebody's got a fat lip. Oh, stop it. I can't believe you said that. Shame on you. Shame. Yeah, I feel bad because I didn't come out and say anything, but I'm like, dude, if this is real, that's pretty fucked up. And then once you start doing research, you're like, oh, wait, no. Everything is pointing to the Russians were pissed off because this lady came and beat their top prospect for boxing, blemished her record, took a medal away from one or the other. I can't remember. And then it's just like, oh, shit. You see it all stacking up. You're like, oh, fucking Russians. Fuck God. And I'm sure there might be some Russians listening to this. And I'm not, whoa. I'm not saying you. Do you work for the IBA? Huh? If you do, then yes. But most likely you don't. I'm not calling it. Hey, don't punch me in the face. Don't. What are you doing? Why are you coming after me? No. Do you guys remember when I used to do the rich Russian billionaire on the radio station? And I had some Russian guys threaten to beat the shit out of me because I used to do it. The joke is I start off with an attempt to be an actual Russian, and then I go into this totally nonsense of a voice. And I'm saying it's the same guy, and I'm saying they're all Russian, and it pissed people off. And the idea was at the time, Mikhail Prokhorov, who I don't think he still does, but he owned the Brooklyn Nets, and he was trying to, in real life, he was trying to pursue Carmelo Anthony to go out there. And the joke was that I would pre-record this voicemail from him. And for some stupid reason, he thought that I was the guy that was in charge of, getting Melo over there from the Denver side of things. And it was so stupid. But it would always be like, hello, this is rich Russian billionaire who owns Jersey Nets. You need to give me the Melo. If you do not, I will break your legs. I'm just kidding. I totally got you. I was like, if you don't give it to me, I will break your legs. And you were like, oh no, don't break my legs. All right. Hey, anyway, give me a call. Let's get this thing done. Anyway, I gotta go feed my goats. Goodbye. And then I had I got at least one email where the guy said if he sees me, he's going to break my fucking legs. And I sent it to upper management, and nobody did anything. I was like, I feel like that's some sort of, you should be protecting me in some fashion, but nobody ever did anything. Fucked up. Hello, it's so bad. It's so dumb. And then we do that once or twice a week. Be like, guys, guess what? What, Scott? What's going on? It happened again. Rich Russian billionaire called me again, left me a voicemail. Oh, no. What? He really wants the Melo. And then we used to have the sound bite that we just drop in. Give me the Melo. Something like that. That I don't even know. It's probably still in their system. But it's just funny. Anyway, so I made some enemies. And what's funny about that is I used to make fun of just about every accent that I could do, whether it's Australian, like, Hey guys, how's it going? I'm over here doing a radio show. Anyway, your mom's coming over later to chomp on my knob. I would never say that on the radio, but you get the idea. Aussies were fine with it. I would do Irish. Here's what's funny: out of all the voices I do, probably the most insulting one is the Irish accent that I do. Well, top of the morning to you. I'm over here eating me Lucky Charms and wishing, oh boy, I wish I had some haggis. Anyway, give me a point and let's go get fucked up. You know, they're always after me Lucky Charms. I'm just doing Lucky Charms guy, and not once. There was like some not Russian guys, Irish guys that are like, dude, that's funny. Totally doesn't sound like us, but it still made me laugh. Right? Oh, good. He has a sense of humor. Maybe there was only a few people that were actually Irish that, were listening, but none of them were like, I'm going to go down there and beat the shit out of you. I'm Conor McGregor. Oh, look at me walking around with my arms out like I got to shit in me armpits or something. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. But I would do that, and nobody would like be offended by it. But the Russians, oh no, Lord, they were mad. It's not like I was meaning to be mean. I was just trying to be funny. Fuck. God dang. Somebody's got thin skin. Anyway, JR, I hope that answered your question. I didn't really answer it. I guess I said what would happen is she'd be like, why'd you punch me in the vagina, you dick? Oh, God. That'd be funny. I'd be so pissed off if I got punched in the balls. Oh, my God. Dude, real quick, side note. Ladies, it's not funny when guys get hit in the nuts. And I got hit the other day. Oh, no, I swear to fucking God, it hurt. And it hurt for like 3 minutes. I got hit by a bag of hamburger buns in my nuts, and it hurt. Not like I'm like, oh, God, sweet Jesus. I think I'm going to black out. Not like that, but it was enough where I'm like, oh, God. Oh, it was just really uncomfortable for like 3 minutes. I'm like, geez, this is fucking hamburger buns. Kroger, what are you putting in your hamburger buns? While they are cheap and delicious, they hurt my balls. They did. Owie. I need some compensation. I do. Take that to a lawyer. I'm going to sue Kroger because those hamburger buns hit me in the balls and it hurt bad. Ouch. Okay. Anyway, now I'm just spitting nonsense. That's just what's happening. I apologize. Anyway, you guys having a fantastic day. Remember, if you see worms in your food and that's not what you ordered, don't eat it. But do take a picture of it. Because if there's no picture, there's no video, nobody's going to fucking believe you. And that's what ends up happening to that British whatever swimmer who claims that his friend of a friend of a friend who knows a guy that had fish with worms coming out of it. Nobody believes you, dude. No picture, doesn't make sense. Also, French pole vaulter, Anthony Ammirati. Well, I don't know if that's how you fucking said it. I'm going to go on a limb, okay? Everybody's assuming he has a giant hog. I'm going to assume he's all beans and no Frank. And that could be the name of the movie he stars in. All beans and no Frank. The Twisted Barbecue. The barbecue of shame.
Frank and beans! Frank and beans!
Frank and beans! Have you seen my wiener? Do you know that guy's like a well-accomplished actor, the guy that played Warren? I looked it up. At first I was like, is that the guy that played Hodor in Game of Thrones? No. But the guy's been in like Deadwood and all these other shows, and he's a very accomplished actor. I'm like, I had no fucking clue. Good for him. he did a bang up job as Warren in Something About Mary. Also, if you go to the Arizona Cardinals football game anytime this season and you get the cotton candy burrito, you got to send me a picture of it. And if you do order it, you got to give me a review, because that's disgusting. I mean, and then let me know how your blood work goes.
Type 2 adult onset diabetes?
Because I can't imagine it's going to be great. Could you imagine, real quick, side note, sorry, if you went viral for ordering this cotton candy burrito, it's like you holding it and you taking a giant bite and you're like, ah. You know, the next time you go to a doctor's visit for a physical or whatever, your doctor's going to just have like a real serious conversation with you. So tell me about this picture. What's going on? Huh? Do you got a goddamn death wish? Huh? Son of a bitch. Then he bitch slaps you.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because that's what's going to happen. That's what I'm not saying my doctor would, but I'm just saying he'd have a stern talking to me. He'd be like, Scott, I'm so disappointed in you. What in the shit is wrong with you? Are you high right now? What is going on with you? Jesus Christ. How'd you get the beans over the Frank? Also, next time you go to a Catholic church, hey, make sure there's no meth lab. Okay? Just saying, putting that out there. Maybe do a thorough check of the entire landscape there at the Catholic church. If there's no meth lab, hey, there you go. No little secret room filled with chains and bad decisions. There you go. Okay, there you go. I just offended somebody with that one. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast. I know I'm a dipshit at times, but I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. You guys make my world go round. You do, and I love you. And my nipples are hard when I say this, and I just can't say thank you enough. Listen, I got to be honest. I didn't need to throw in the nipple thing, but I did. And I'm going to, chew on that the rest of the night. I'm going to be beating myself up over it. Should I have said it? Probably not, Scott. Probably not. Just chalk it up to another mistake you make. Huh? What in the hell?
What the fuck?
Anyway. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you could, give it a nice review. Wherever you're listening to this, wherever you're watching, if you're able to give it a nice review or at least give it 5 stars out of 5 stars, please do so. It helps with the distribution of this show, and it makes it so I can continue doing this nonsense, okay? I do appreciate you guys. You have a fantastic day. Big thanks to High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge, and of course, Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys have a fantastic day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.
I got worms.